Welcome to VanillaSoft's Quick Start for Admins. In this video, we'll be going through the critical steps in creating a basic calling campaign. When you first log into your admin account, you'll be presented with the main project page. Here you'll see a sample project for you to customize. Projects serve as the top-level campaigns within the system and are where your leads and custom settings will be stored. To get started with your setup, click on the project link to access the configuration menu. From here, you can click on the Quick Setup link to begin. The first step is setting up your other information fields. These are custom fields that you can use to store data specific to your campaign. Basic info fields such as name, address, company, and email are already built into the system, but other pieces of information you need to store and track can be created here. You'll see several sample fields in this area. You can modify these example fields by clicking on them, then changing their name and settings to the right. You can also add new fields in at the top of the page, or delete fields you don't need. Teams give you a way to organize your contacts into separate, self-contained calling lists. Each team is essentially its own queue or sub-campaign within your project. You can set up different team-specific settings, such as result codes, custom fields, and scripts. Leads can either be imported directly to a team or moved to one through a query update. You can also set result codes to automatically move leads from one list to another. Result codes are a key component of your project's workflow. After each call, your users will have to enter a result code in order to move to the next contact. How you've configured your result codes will determine what happens to the lead next. When you first look at the page, you'll see 10 sample result codes that have been created to fit a basic sales process. You can start customizing these by changing any of the values, then clicking Save Changes at the top left. You can also delete unnecessary codes or add in additional codes at the top. While you can change any settings on the result codes, there are two main options to pay attention to. The first is the result action, which tells the system when or if the lead will route again. The second is user assignment, which tells the system which caller to assign it to or what team it needs to be moved into. These are the most important options for your result codes, as they have a direct effect on your routing queue and sales workflow. You can also enable and configure appointment setting as a result action if your workflow requires it. This function can let you book time on the calendar for both VanillaSoft users and external agents, as well as send email notifications and calendar invites. The next step in your setup is implementing your call script. VanillaSoft uses logical branching call scripts to let your callers move through the conversation organically. The script itself is contained under the default sample script that was loaded to your project. Below the script container, you'll see a list of subscripts on the left. These subscripts allow you to break up your call script into smaller sections of text, which your caller can then select based on the contact's response. By highlighting a subscript, you can modify the name and contents in the area to the right. When entering your script, you can insert contact variables by clicking the button above the main text area. This will bring up a list of all the VanillaSoft fields you can add to your script. Once your subscript text is entered and saved, you can start adding subscript responses below. These will create hot links that your callers can use to quickly navigate to the next portion of your script. To import your leads, click the Choose File or Browse button, then navigate to your .csv file and double-click to select it. You can then click the Next button, which will upload the CSV file to our server. Once the file is uploaded, you'll be on the Field Mapping screen. Here you'll see a list of all available VanillaSoft fields on the left column, followed by a drop-down of your imported file fields. You'll need to go through this list and make sure your import file fields are matched up to the corresponding VanillaSoft fields. You can see a preview of the first two rows of your mapped column on the right. Note that the names or labels of the fields do not matter so long as you've mapped them accordingly. At this time, you can also specify a default value for any of your fields, such as setting a lead source or placing all contacts into a specific team. Once your fields are mapped, click the Start Import button. This will send the list to our import queue, where it will be processed and added to your project. You can then navigate away from this page while the leads are processing. To add seats to your account, click the Users link at the top left of the admin screen, then click the Add New User button. Here you'll need to enter the mandatory fields, as well as any optional fields you want to be able to reference in email correspondence or call scripts. Next, you'll need to select the user's type and licenses. Callers will have full front-end access to the routing queue and are restricted from the back-end administrative options. Administrator combos have access to both the admin and caller side of the system. Limited users have access to the front end, but they're restricted to leads that are assigned directly to their account and cannot access any call queues. Once you select the account type, you can choose if they need to have an auto-dialing or call recording license. When you're done, click the Save button to create the account. Your user can now log into VanillaSoft with the account you created for them. New users' passwords will default to match the username for their first login. You've now completed the basic steps to kick off your campaign in VanillaSoft. For more instructional videos, manuals, and FAQs, click the support link at the top right of the page to access our knowledge base.